This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Hundreds of activists with the Gaza Freedom March are staging continued demonstrations and sit-ins in Cairo to protest Egypt's refusal to allow them to cross the border into Gaza. Organizers say an offer by Egyptian authorities this morning to allow just 100 members of the group to go to Gaza was not sufficient. More than 1,300 people came from over 40 countries. They're in Cairo as part of the Gaza Freedom March, planning to cross the border last Sunday to commemorate the first anniversary of Israel's assault on Gaza that killed 1,400 Palestinians and 13 Israelis. Around 50 to 80 people with the group did take up the deal and boarded a bus to Gaza this morning. Egypt's border crossing point at Rafah is the only entrance point into the Gaza Strip not controlled by Israel. Egypt's foreign minister, Ahmed Abul-Gheit, had harsh words for the marchers, saying, quote, "Those who tried to conspire against us, and they are more than 1,000, we will leave them in the street," he said. Meanwhile, the demonstrations continue. On Tuesday, 40 U.S. citizens marched to the American embassy in downtown Cairo, but were quickly met by riot police who cordoned them into smaller groups. Earlier in the day, members of the Gaza Freedom March joined with Egyptian activists in a protest against Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's one-day visit to Cairo for talks with Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak. We go now to Cairo, where we're joined on the phone by Ali Abunimah. Ali, welcome to Democracy Now! Is it true that Code Pink had met with the wife of President Mubarak, and that's what led to 100 people being allowed to cross the border?
Good morning, Amy. What we were told is that through the intercession of the Red Crescent, which is headed by the wife of President Mubarak, they had arranged for 100 people, 2 buses to go. This was something that came through yesterday. But what happened during the night is it became very clear that many of the country delegations who were part of the Gaza Freedom March and civil society organizers in Gaza felt that this offer was not enough, that it was designed to simply take the pressure off Egypt, and there was it became clear that this was unacceptable. And what for many people was the tipping point was the statement by the foreign minister of Egypt, which did refer to the Gaza Freedom Marchers as hooligans, and gave the impression that those who would have been on the buses, and I would have been one of them, would somehow handpicked by the government, while those remaining behind were hooligans, and that was certainly unacceptable. The people who initially were planned to go on the buses were not in any way picked by the government. It's the impression the government wanted to give, and I think it was felt by most people, certainly a very, very strong contingent, that this would not advance to go to the Gaza Freedom March, which, as far as I'm concerned, is not about getting 100 people into Gaza or 1,400, but to breaking the siege. And that's really where the focus has to remain, on breaking the siege and on exposing the complicity with the siege that is really suffocating the Palestinian people in Gaza.